Hi, and welcome to Technique and Practice with Inspiro. This video on posture is titled Posture in Practice. This entire channel, this entire playlist of videos is called Technique and Practice because we not only want you to understand the concepts that we're discussing, but also be able to try them out at home to be able to experiment with different aspects of vocal technique. And posture is a part of vocal technique because it affects how our sound is produced. So posture in practice, the first tip I want to provide, which is something that I like to think of as a general rule of thumb for singing in general, is to think positive. So for example, if you notice that there's unnecessary tension in your body while you're singing, or if you have strain when you're singing certain notes, don't just get frustrated, don't just panic and think, oh no, my high notes are strained, or oh no, I have tension, because that's counterproductive. That's not going to help you solve the problem. Instead, think about what positive changes you can make to your posture in order to reduce that tension. So maybe you think, oh, my chin is tilted up. I'm going to try and bring it down to lower my larynx and reduce strain in my neck. Or perhaps you notice that your shoulders are lifting or that you're slouching, and you're just going to calmly correct that. Instead of thinking only about the problem, you're going to remind yourself of the solution to the problem. So I'm going to demonstrate a few examples of ways that you can put posture into practice. I just want to put out a disclaimer that you should only do what is comfortable for you and safe for your body. Everybody has a different limit. Everybody has a different sort of range of motion. So never push yourself beyond what is comfortable and safe for you. Another suggestion I have is try singing whatever it is. It could be a warm-up, a scale, it could be a little song. Try singing before you do these exercises, each of them individually, and then after, so that you can hear the difference in your sound quality, where maybe perhaps before you've eliminated some of that tension or before you've made a change to your posture that is positive, and then after. So it's good to be able to hear the effects that proper posture has on our voice. So the first example of something that I like to do for releasing tension in my body is just shaking out different areas of my body. So to release tension, we can shake out our hands and arms, shake out the legs and feet, just kind of thinking about limp, relaxed movements, and just kind of allowing everything to be nice and relaxed, nice and buoyant, nothing tense. So shaking out all of your limbs is a good way to just sort of release any tension you might be holding because of nerves or whatever it might be. So that's the first thing. The next thing would be you can raise your arms. So you can lift your arms above your head and then just bring them down slowly to your sides, remembering to keep your shoulders back. And this just helps to create a bit of a stretch and an openness to the rib cage. So we're reminding ourselves to keep our rib cage open, to keep our shoulders back, and just have that nice open posture in general with our chest and our shoulders. So there's stretching, raising out the arms. In general, doing any sort of stretching exercise programs is going to help to release tension from the body and make us more supple with our movements. So finding a good book on stretching or some exercises you can do through an app or online, or talking to your doctor or physiotherapist about some stretching exercises would be helpful. The next thing you want to think about is maybe doing some head rolls. So we can tilt our chin down and just gently roll our head from side to side. Again, not doing this if it's too uncomfortable or painful, if you have any injuries that this might aggravate, but in general, we're just trying to relax any tension in the neck and just feel a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of suppleness in there. The next exercise you could try is the Ragdoll. This is a very common one for sort of releasing tension and then building up a nice straight posture. So the Ragdoll is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to pretend you don't have any structure to your body and just kind of drop to the floor. Again, do it gently. If you have a back injury or something, you don't want to aggravate that. But nice and relaxed, sort of leaning towards the floor. You can bend your knees, feel nice and buoyant there. And then you're just going to slowly bring yourself back up into standing position. Thinking about stacking your vertebrae is something I've heard with this exercise, so that you're slowly bringing yourself into alignment, no quick movements, and also thinking about engaging the core muscles, feeling the abdominal muscles engage as you lift your body so that you're in a nice tall position and engaged to the core, connected to the core. So those are a few examples of some ways that we can release tension and just sort of relax and focus on a nice open posture before we sing. So try singing before you do those exercises and after. Another thing I want to demonstrate, and here I don't have a real wall, but I have a divider. So I'm going to stand against a wall to demonstrate how you can see if your posture is in alignment. So if you stand against a wall, here are some things you want to focus on. Your head should not touch the wall because we don't want to tilt backwards with our head. So the head doesn't need to touch the wall. The shoulder blades should touch the wall, but not the tops of the shoulders. The shoulder blades should touch because that means that your shoulders are back far enough. If the shoulder tops are touching, we're overextending and over elevating the sternum. If nothing is touching the wall in the shoulder area, then it means we're slouching. So that's another thing. No head touching, shoulder blades should touch. What else should be touching the wall? Generally, the buttocks should touch the wall. Otherwise, we might be leaning forward, but depending on the shape of the body, sometimes that'll be different for every singer. So shoulder blades and buttocks should touch the wall. The heels should not touch the wall because, again, that's going to put us out of alignment. We're going to be awkwardly leaning forward. So your feet should actually be away from the wall. So this is just a simple test to see how your body alignment is and make slight corrections. You can try doing that, then step away from the wall and try and maintain that posture while you sing. Another exercise we can try is testing our head position and how tilting the chin up or down affects our sound. So for example, pick a vowel like ah and sing just a very simple scale, maybe 3 notes, while tilting the head up and down to hear the change in position. For example, ah, so this is neutral position. I'm going to start tilting. Ah, and you can feel the change as well as hear the change. Then I'm tilting down. Now I'm feeling the compression of the larynx and these muscles as well. So basically we're experimenting in this posture and practice series, and there are many other ways you can do this. We're experimenting with what it feels like to sing with proper posture versus without proper posture, and what it sounds like as well, so that we can get a sense of the difference. And in this video, I'd also like to recommend singing in front of a mirror. This is one of the most important ways that you can develop proper posture habits because we often do things unconsciously, and unless someone is watching us and telling us about it, or we can see it in the mirror, then we might not realize what we're doing that's inhibiting proper and relaxed vocal production. So the sound should be influenced by our posture. It is influenced by our posture. And looking into a mirror and noticing how our body alignment and how our head alignment and everything is naturally manifesting itself based on our habits is going to help us to correct those habits if they're poor. And yeah, just notice maybe where our natural flaws are. And we all have natural posture flaws. We all have areas that we carry tension. So I highly recommend finding a mirror somewhere at home where you can practice, even just for a few minutes in the bathroom, if that's the only place you can find a space in a mirror that's quiet enough to sing. And just practice seeing what you look like when you sing. And this is uncomfortable sometimes, but it's going to help us become more aware of our postural habits. So thank you for watching this video and this series of videos on posture. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Technique in Practice with Inspiro Core.